Aston Martin have been nothing short of fantastic this season, with everyone's favourite Spanish driver Fernando Alonso looking like he has a new lease on life. As good as Fernando and Aston Martin have been though, the CEO of Aston Martin will always be looking at ways of improving the Silverstone-based team. And it looks like he's found a very sneaky way of doing this, with a partnership that I don't think many people saw coming, but we're not sure everyone will be happy with this move. Stick around to find out what this secret move is and what this means for Alonso and Aston Martin. And stay till the end to find out what the latest is for Andretti. And it's not great after Horner's most recent comments. We'll be honest, they are pretty ridiculous. I don't think anyone could have predicted what has happened this season with Aston Martin. The team hasn't only just improved, but they have pretty much been the only team that can challenge Red Bull at this point. Okay, maybe we got a little excited because let's be honest, no one can challenge Red Bull. Let's not go into that though, as I think we've heard enough moaning from the team principals. Back to Aston Martin, and as excited as we got, Aston Martin does deserve some serious credit for the start to the season, with Fernando Alonso being at the heart of it. It was only last season that the team was ridiculed for its massive investment with no apparent lack of return on it, finishing a lowly 7th on the constructors and their highest driver finishing at 12th. Not great, but what has happened this season can show any team out there that if you get it right in F1, you can make huge strides. And at the opposite end, look at Mercedes. They seem to have gotten it completely wrong and are paying dearly for it, with the team far off the pace. Now, if you've been following F1 for a long time, you would know that if that was the case in any other season, then Mercedes would just pay their way out of this situation and throw money at it. But not this time around, as we have a small matter of the budget cap, which is making teams have to seriously consider their upgrades rather than just throw money at the problem. Now, Aston Martin has been labelled the Green Bull in recent seasons, with even Red Bull chipping in at the beginning of the season after the Silverstone-based team poached a number of its engineers, in particular Dan Fallows, who brought all of his knowledge to the team and obviously used similar concepts to Red Bull, as this is what he'd been doing at the team initially. This is the area where Aston Martin has been far ahead of its competitors, with the team getting the aerodynamics of the car correct and in particular ahead of its engine supplier Mercedes. But this could be looking to change. Now, you don't become a billionaire by standing still, and although Aston Martin is performing well, the Canadian billionaire will only be happy with ultimate success. For anyone involved in F1, that is the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship. The drivers are what the fans want to win, and the constructors' title is what the teams want to win, as this is where the money is. Even recently, Mike Crack said that Lawrence had been expecting more from the team, always driving them forward. And even as he appreciated the team's 2023 improvement, Crack revealed that Stroll had wasted no time demanding even more. It's quite easy. Lawrence's mission statement is pretty clear. He has not been having any delay in telling us when are we going to win the next one, Crack said. Obviously, he's happy that we've made a step, but this is not enough for his ambitions. The good thing with Lawrence is you know where you stand. He wants more, and we will have to deliver more. He has invested heavily in the team with a new state-of-the-art £200 million Silverstone headquarters, the first stage of which is due to open next month. But like Mike says, the team cannot just stand still, as they will be going backward. With Stroll pushing them, there are two clear areas where the team can improve: their drivers and their engine. On the subject of their drivers, well, there is a pretty clear option for Lawrence, but we don't think he will do it, and that is to get rid of his son. Now, it's harsh, but as we can see this season, the guy isn't in the same league as Alonso. The Spaniard is pushing for podiums, while Lance is pushing just to make the points. So an easy fix, but a hard decision, which, if we were Lawrence, we would not want to make. The second area that Aston Martin could improve is their engine. The team are currently using a Mercedes engine, and as we have seen, they are doing their best with it, but this looks to be another area where the team can improve. Almost a decade into F1's hybrid era, there has been nothing yet to disprove Ron Dennis's theory that a works engine deal is essential if a team has serious ambitions of winning the World Championship. And Lawrence Stroll knows it. It has been no secret that Lawrence Stroll is on the hunt for a new engine supplier, with the Canadian even wanting to build his own engine. Still, his initial plot for Aston Martin to build their own engine was reportedly dropped after Red Bull Powertrain's intense signing spree. With his next bright idea to invest or even purchase outright, Mercedes HPP also failing to materialize despite the apparent enthusiasm of Mercedes chairman Ola Källenius. Lawrence is definitely looking to make things happen, so let's just think. All engine suppliers have a partner for 2026. Well, all except one. That team has both a tremendous and checkered history, with the engine supplier being ridiculed for its time at McLaren, but then winning 2 consecutive driver championships and wresting the Constructors' Championship from Mercedes, which had dominated the sport for so long. And that team is Honda. According to the Spanish edition of motorsport.com, we've been able to learn that the Japanese manufacturer wants to join Aston Martin, which would mean, if he is still in the top flight that year, the reunion between Fernando Alonso and Honda. This would mean that not only would Aston Martin have more control over its engine, but it would be gathering all the experience that Honda has accumulated over their time and a potential World Championship engine. The report added, "It is no mystery that the ambition of the team owner Lawrence Stroll is to take the team to compete for the World Championship. And the agreement with Mercedes, which has been vital for the growth of the structure, may be a limitation in the long term." This is both good and bad for Aston Martin, as the history between Aston Martin and Mercedes being slightly more than just engine suppliers, with the teams owning shares in each other, as well as not only supplying an engine, but also supplying parts other than the engine, most notably the gearbox and the entire rear of the car. So in order to break away from Mercedes, the Silverstone-based team would need to design and build those parts themselves, which comes at a cost. And they also make use of the Mercedes wind tunnel. Still, with the team now having a state-of-the-art facility in progress, this challenge may be overcome over time. However, it would still need to be adjusted for, and with Mercedes suddenly losing a partner, then they may be more reluctant to let Aston use the wind tunnel in the meantime. However, there are obviously benefits to this, as this would allow the team to design its car as it sees fit and not have to build it around a Mercedes engine, but rather design it with Honda to potentially get the best out of the car and engine. And let's not forget Aston Martin have Dan Fallows, who would have had a massive hand in building the dominant 2022 Red Bull car, so he will know exactly how to incorporate a new engine into the existing car. This is all quite a scary thought for the rest of the teams, in particular if the teams can't get it right. Now, one team that is also looking to get into F1 is Andretti, with the American racing team doing all it can. At the Miami GP, there was some excellent news for Andretti, with Michael telling Sky Sports the team were finally entering their bid into F1. "It's our goal, we're working on it. We're in a process that we're in the middle of with the FIA. Submitting our paperwork this week and hopefully have an answer middle of July. That's for 2025. We're already doing the work. It's happening, and we're building a team as we speak. It would be awesome to see the name on the grid again with Cadillac," Michael Andretti said. Poor Michael, the man has been through the ringer with trying to get into F1, and it doesn't look like he's getting any closer. The latest reason for not getting an extra team due to space in the pit lanes. Yep, it is pretty ridiculous if you ask us. I think the issues remain the same as 12 months ago, both fiscally. What is the incentive for an existing team or franchise to accept an 11th entrant? And then, ultimately, who pays? Horner said. "I mean, if it dilutes the income of the 10, it's like turkeys voting for Christmas. Why would they do that? You know, are Liberty prepared to pay and fund an 11th team? Are the FIA prepared to reduce their fees to help accommodate it? So you know there are all the financial aspects, but I think beyond that, with the way that the sport is now developed, if you look at the pit lane, for example, here or somewhere like Monaco, Zandvoort, or some of the circuits that we're now racing at, where would we be able to accommodate an 11th team?